Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Mikey's Saturday Nightmares. Thank you for tuning in this evening. I've got a good one lined up for you. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into it here. The film we're going to talk about today was directed by a fellow by the name of John Landis. And he has given us such great films as Animal House from 1978.
I'm a zit. Get it?
Coming to America in 1988. And he also directed the classic comedy Oscar with Sylvester Stallone in 1991.
Fanucci's! All right. Call off your dogs. Fanucci, sit!
Now, those three films are fantastic comedy films. If you haven't seen those, definitely go back and check those out. Especially Oscar. I thoroughly enjoyed Oscar. It had a tremendous cast and was just a great all-around fun movie. The movie we're going to talk about today came out on August 21st of 1981. And as I said, it was directed by John Landis. And we are going to be talking about An American Werewolf in London. This was a great werewolf film if you haven't seen this. It stars the great David Naughton, who plays the character of David Kessler. And he's also played in such films as Hot Dog the Movie in 1984. He also played in a little film called The Sleeping Car in 1990. And he played in another werewolf movie called Big Bad Wolf with Richard Tyson in 2006. It's been a while since I've seen The Sleeping Car. If I remember correctly, it was a pretty decent film. Not one of his big blockbuster movies. And Hot Dog the Movie was a great comedy. Big Bad Wolf, I had a lot of fun watching that one. I highly recommend that one if you've never seen that one before. I definitely want to go back and check out The Sleeping Car though. Definitely need to go back and check that one out. And the film also stars Jenny Agutter, I think is how you say her last name, and she plays the character of Alex Price. And she's also played in such films as Child's Play 2 from 1990. She also has an uncredited role in the film Darkman from 1990. And she also has a role in The Avengers from 2012. All three films were very good films. I thoroughly enjoyed Darkman. It's kind of got a cult following, but I thoroughly enjoyed all those films, all three of those films. And the film also stars Griffin Dunne, who plays the character of Jack Goodman. And he also played in such films as Who's That Girl from 1987 with Madonna. He also played in My Girl in 1991. And he also played in the film 40 Days and 40 Nights in 2002 with Josh Hartnett. I'm not a fan of Madonna, so I have not seen Who's That Girl. My Girl was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. 40 Days and 40 Nights is a great film as well. It's a great comedy film. Now, this film had a budget of estimated $10 million, and the gross for this film was $30,858,814. The plot for the film was American college students David Kessler and Jack Goodman on a walking tour of Britain are attacked by a werewolf that none of the locals will admit exists. Jack dies. David recovers in a hospital where he has nightmares. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in the trailer for this werewolf classic, An American Werewolf in London. Roll it.
La 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 la. Isn't this fun? Lovely stroll on the moors.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
What is it? You think it's a dog?
Nice doggy. Good boy.
What happened to them?
Well, the police report said they were attacked by an escaped lunatic.
A wolf. My friend Jack was just here. Told me that I will become a monster in 2 days.
Your dead friend, Jack.
Yes.
Gotta believe me, David.
Believe what? You're one of the undead, and I'm a werewolf.
Tomorrow night's the full moon. You're gonna change.
A what?
You'll become...
I know. A monster.
A naked American man stole my balloon.
What?
What did I do last night?
You don't remember?
The last remaining werewolf must be destroyed. It's you, David.
Run!
Good Lord.
All right, that was the trailer for American Werewolf in London. This is a film that never fails to entertain you year after year, no matter how many times you've seen it. It's over a quarter of a century old, but hasn't become dated. And the special effects, which were phenomenal in its day, are still good. Director John Landis is good at making entertaining movies, and this is one of his best. The appeal to this film is the way it combines horror, suspense, action, and humor. The latter actually is the key ingredient because this can become a downright scary film, especially if you've never seen it before. The humor is there, but it's just the right amount blended in between it and the horror. Jenny Agutter is the love interest here, a very beautiful woman whom American audiences were not familiar with at that time. But the same could also be said about the two lead characters, David Naughton and Griffin Dunn. As most know, the film has one of the best human werewolf transformation scenes in cinematic history. The only other film to show such detail is, of course, The Howling. This movie is a fun watch, and if you're seeing it for the first time, you may be shocked at some of the things that you see. Great performances from the cast and excellent script makes this an experience to remember. Unlike monster horror films of today, this film has no computer added special effects, and it doesn't need them. For its landmark film, it's a landmark film that deserves to be seen. I've always said that I am more into the practical effects than CGI. Yeah, like I said, some CGI is needed in certain films, and some blow the CGI completely out of proportion, and it looks horrible. But this film, the practical effects in this film are fantastic. As I said, the acting is phenomenal. The script is phenomenal. John Landis is an awesome director. Always has been. He has made some great films in his time, and this is probably one of his best ones, in my opinion. Um, I love werewolf movies. I watch a lot of them. Some of them not the greatest, but some of them are really really good. Like I said in Big Bad Wolf in 2006 with Richard Tyson. That is, I don't want to say it's a comedy satire type thing. It does have comedy in it, but there is a lot of gore in that film. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed Richard Tyson in that film. So it's definitely worth a watch if you've never heard or ever seen that film before. Definitely check that one out because it is. I find it thoroughly entertaining. Thoroughly entertaining. All right, so right now we're going to jump into some trivia um, which I like to call the trivia section. There's the music. It's trivia time. So we're going to jump into this. Um, I found some pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. All right. Recognition for makeup and technical contributions was not recognized by the Academy Awards in 1981. Rick Baker was the youngest to win the Academy Award for the makeup effects in this film, a record that was later tied by Tammy Lane for The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's hard to believe that makeup and technological effects were not credited or did not have their own award at the Academy Awards uh, before 1981. It's kind of weird to think about that, but now that it does, I'm glad it does. Rick Baker claimed to have been disappointed by the amount of time spent uh, shooting the face changing the face changing shot during the transformation after spending months working on the mechanism for the face. Landis only required one take lasting 7 seconds. That was until Baker saw the film with an audience that applauded during the 1 7 second shot. Um, yeah, after spending all that time working on a mechanism to work like that for that big of a scene in that film, I would have been kind of upset about it too. But he got the recognition he deserved when he saw it in theaters and saw the audience's reaction. So that made it all worthwhile. John Landis had to avoid any full frontal nudity of David Naughton during the transformation scene and dream sequences after Naughton informed Landis that he was not circumcised, even though his role as David Kessler was written as being Jewish. Okay, I get nudity in horror. Okay, I understand that sometimes they have it in there. But you don't always have to have full frontal nudity, especially of a man. Some films do have nudity in them and full frontal of women and men. But to me, it's just not necessary. You don't really have to have all that in there. Uh, Landis reported that he was that while approving a high definition transfer of the film for a DVD release in the mid 2000s, he was taken aback by how gory the film actually was. That's pretty cool because this is a kind of a gory film. Um, there's a lot of scenes in here that were pretty gory, but I'm a fan of gore. I like the gore. Now, some movies take it too far, Terrifier, but that's neither here nor there. Terrifier is a great film. Don't get me wrong; it's a fantastic movie, I think. But the gore it was a lot. It was a lot. Let's see here. Naughton was reportedly cast because Landis saw him in a Dr. Pepper TV commercial. However, Naughton was later let go by the Dr. Pepper company because of his nude scenes in this film. That kind of goes along with a lot of the Disney uh, actors that are hired by Disney. A lot of them get let go by Disney because they take on more mature roles later on in their career, which I kind of understand. I kind of understand. The cat on the window ledge was prompted to hiss at David by holding another cat towards its face, an old trick used in film production to get a cat to hiss. There's a lot of little tricks like that they've used over the years, I'm sure. And it's pretty cool to find out that is one of them. Because you always wonder when movies include animals. Um, I know you have to train. Some of them have been trained. There has to be some form of training in order to be able to use them in motion pictures. But it's kind of neat how they get them to react to certain circumstances in the film. So that's pretty cool to know that. In order to get the film down to an R rating, Landis had to tone down the sex scenes and cut out a part of where a piece of toast fell out of Jack's undead throat. He also edited out a scene where the werewolf kills three homeless people, or homeless men, I should say, after preview audiences freaked out over the scene. He would later have regrets about those edits. This is a pretty gory film, as I said before. I would love to see an unedited version of this film. I don't really know at this point in time if an unedited version exists of this film, but I would genuinely love to see the unrated version of this film. The scene with David in the cage with the real wolves was filmed in one take because David Naughton had no desire to get back into the cage with the animals. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Even though there is some semblance, like I said, of training these animals to appear in these films, you never know how they're going to react. No matter how well they're trained, you just never know, and I don't blame him for that at all. The final look of the werewolf was based on Rick Baker's Keeshhound, which was this Harrier dog and all kind of almost wolf-like. His name was Bosco, so that's pretty interesting. He took the look of his own dog, his own animal, and parlayed it into a werewolf uh, outfit, which was pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty neat. Um, Inspiration comes from all different things. All of the people that gathered around the porno theater at the end of the film really thought there was a wild animal inside the theater. Landis didn't tell any of them it was fake to get the right reaction out of everyone. So when it burst out of the theater, some of the screams were genuine. I kind of like when they do stuff like that. It's kind of cool because you want to get that. You want to get the most out of their reactions, and sometimes that's the only way to do it. Dirty, underhanded, maybe, but it works. So that's pretty cool. And finally, one of the two werewolf films to win the Academy Award for Best Makeup, Rick Baker won both times. He won for this film, and he won again for The Wolfman in 2010. Now, I believe they're talking about The Wolfman from 2010 with Benicio del Toro. I think that's the one they're talking about. I should have looked it up, but I'm not sure. But I think that's the one they're talking about. That was an excellent movie. It really was. Um, that's another good werewolf movie that you need to check out if you haven't seen, and if you love werewolf movies. That was an excellent film. All right, so that's all we got for the notes here. Um, I'm trying to get back on a regular schedule, like I said last week. I'm just going to try to get my videos out on time. Of course, I'm recording this one kind of late on Saturday night, so you'll be able to watch it tomorrow. I apologize for it being late. I'd like to try to get them out as early as I can, but today just it didn't happen till now. But we are on schedule now, so next Thursday will be another classic movie buffet theater. I believe it's either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday though. I'll record it on Wednesday and then post it Thursday. And then I'll be back again next Saturday for another Mikey's Saturday Nightmares. I want to say thank you to all of you that are watching these videos. It's greatly appreciated. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. You're more than welcome to comment whatever you want to talk about. And hopefully we can get back on track with making these videos. So, like I said, I'll have another classic movie buffet on Wednesday or Thursday. It should be Thursday, though, because I'll record it on Wednesday, like I said, and probably won't put it out until Thursday. But I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, be safe, have a great week, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.